Hello party people, I'm your club DJ, Colonel Failure, and you're watching Failurwood Hills featuring Stogoland in a Planet Coaster Styly. This time around, we're going to be looking at Mr. Cthulhu's Wander area once again, because, well, it's not finished yet. There's one ride down there and a couple of shops at the moment, and that really isn't reason enough for people to visit. As much as the coaster goes through the centre of it, it's still not dragging in the hordes, and I need something that will drag, indeed, the hordes in. So I'm building a ghost train, people. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be suitably eerie, somewhat spooky, and undoubtedly full of smoke and fire. So why not stick around and watch that happen? Okay, so here's the underground area that belongs to Mr. Cthulhu. I'm sure we're all familiar with it by now. It feels like I spend an awful lot of time down here. But you come around the track on the coaster. There's the likeable and charming Mr. Demon, welcoming you to the glorious underworld and the very many smoke-filled effects that we have populated it with. Now, as you come out the other side, as we certainly will in just a moment here, we will see that there's quite a lot of barren landscape going on, as much as you can call the underground a landscape. And this is the area that I really want to be developing, threading in and out of the existing roller coaster. But that's going to involve quite a lot of mucking around, and I've learned a lot about doing dark rides since kicking this off, and in future I will do all of the underground build before sealing it back in, but not today. So let's get rid of these rocks, and then we'll find some lamps, we'll stick those out so I've got a fighting chance of seeing what the heck I'm doing. That's always a positive place to start there. Those streetlights maybe not shedding as much light as I'd quite like. And then it's about finding the ride in question, so we've gone with a fairly straightforward ghost train. Now, out of the back of that, we'll just start laying the track. Now, the important thing with a ghost train, of course, is that the scenery's good. The thrills of the ride itself are kind of a secondary consideration. That's just not going to go around there. It's not going to work. No. Yep, there you go. That's it. That's got it. Right. Okay. So yeah, nice and steep to start with, to give them just a little bit of a moment of excitement, and then we'll go underneath the dangle coaster, and then we'll circle round and go over the top of it as well. The big challenge there, of course, is going to be not clipping the ceiling and not having to shape the terrain too much in a way that potentially will ruin what we've done topside as well. I think that's quite a high chance. Anyway, let's ride the thing, make sure it's all right. Trust me, even though we're moving at high speed, it's absolutely brilliant, and we'll make it work. It's going to be fantastic. Right now, set the entrance, the exit up. Yeah, come on, entrance, exit, come on, get on with it. There you go. Right, so we're going to bang them both on this side. No, we change our mind and we decide actually the smart way to do it is have the entrance on the far side, so you can have a nice big fat queue for people to hang out in. And this is probably where I'm going to spend the next 15 minutes is fighting the path tool to make it work and connect it up first time. But then one little wrinkle in the path means that I decide to do it again after the judicious application of the smoothing brush there, and then we'll have another go. Oh yeah, it looks great. Just does not want to connect. No, not interested. Yep, go on, get around. Go on. That's it. Smooth it some more. That'll help. Or will it? No, up. Maybe go over the top. No, it's not. No, it's not interested in that. Okay, well, we'll go around. That's it. Put a wiggle in there. Looks ugly, but that'll do the job probably. Yeah. Right, and then we'll dig a nice big hole here, because if there's nothing I like better than a hole, it's a hole full of water. And then, of course, set it on fire, because why wouldn't you? Now, that's quite a handsome fiery effect. It's maybe a little bit excitable at this speed, but we won't worry too much about that. Yeah, some lava. This is a very nice lava effect. You just got to be a bit careful with it. You put it too close to the water and you get black particle stuff going on because it doesn't quite merge properly. But my gosh, does that not look inviting? I'm sure we'll get some fins in there later on to dive into it, given the Finnish population's preference for diving into water that really isn't advisable. Anyway, right, that's the basics done. Oh, I seem to have gone underground here. That could be fun, but there's a pillar in the way. I'm not going to worry too much about that, because a little bit of smoothing gun, terrain tool, and we can turn that out. But you know what? What's better than that? Yeah, let's dig a bigger hole and stick some water in, and then some smoke, because that'll keep people very much on their toes. And I think the spinning hazard light there, if I can get that working in the ceiling without selecting absolutely flipping everything, that'll be magical. That'll give the kiddies the sense of dread that everybody should have while riding a ghost train. Let's put some more lamps in here, see what's going on. There you go. Now, if we carve out all the way under here, it could be some kind of spooky underground river, or maybe just an open sewer. Either way, it's all good. Now then, we'll encase this first bit in a bit of wall, because that way I can use something that I've been building out there in my test area, which you haven't seen yet. And of course, I don't actually have it saved as a blueprint. There it is. Look at that. Fantastic. Some kind of scary ventilation fan backlit excitement fandangle there. So let's bring that over. Now this is going to prove to be a challenge, because you can't just copy paste multiple parts, and that means that I'm going to have to eyeball it underground, multiple part, reselecting it from the blueprint directory every time, and then yeah, see, this is just going to fight me for the next, I don't know, month. You thought paths were a pain to mess with. You tried doing it with a 17-part flipping industrial fan unit. That'll separate the wheat from the chaff in a patience fashion. However, you know, because I'm cunning as a weasel, I opt to copy and then save as a blueprint groups of these fans, thinking that it will speed things up. It really doesn't. We got rid of the walls. What did speed it up, however, was deciding, you know what, let's just go and build it up the top and then bring it back down. That will surely be faster. No, see, no, it's just not doing it. No, look, you've got a gap there. At which point, a little bit of swearing helps. Then you kind of go, right, I need a new plan for this. And evidently, it took me a couple of minutes of thinking to come up with a new plan. There you go. Yeah, grab all of this. Yeah, just, no, not that bit. All of this lot. That's it. Go on. Grab it all. Yeah. And then we'll move it up. Nah, stuff it. Right, we'll go build the whole thing up top. There you go. See, this is what I should have done to start with. So we'll build the walls, which arguably I should have put in last, but at least it gives me the spacing that I need there. Yeah, see, that's nice. We'll do, oh look, bit of curvy wall. Yeah, they're a sod to decorate. But you know, I think the effect is rather. Oh, of course, it wants to sit on the inside, right? It's fine. I'll just move the rest of the wall. See if I can bang the rest of that on there. Okay, right. Yep, I feel good about that. Right, now where's my fan collection? Right, okay, let's eyeball this, and yeah, let's line up onto that. That's yep, got it. Right, now then, next bit. No, yeah, there. Spin it around. Good, no, mate, no, that's almost. Hold on, this wall's 3 high. It's not too high. You're doing this in the wrong order, man. No, right, okay, let's get all of that out of there. Let's build these now that we know how many we need to build. We'll build those separate. See, look, now you're talking. Yeah, brilliant. Right, we'll save that. Do it again. It's gonna go. Oh, hold on. That's 4 high. We didn't want 4 high. Let's delete all the stuff off the top. Oh, now there's gaps in it. Oh, let's put that back in. Oh, actually, no, it's not. That was left. No, let's get rid of that as well. Flipping heck. Right, now then. Now that looks like I want it to. Good. Right, save it. Duplicate the thing. Make double of those. Yeah, near enough. Pretty much. Beautiful. Good. I don't know what it's ventilating, of course, but the effect should be somewhat eerie, and will generally add to the sense of doom that the kiddies will be feeling while they ride on this thing. Look at that in the dark, isn't it beautiful? There's a good safety check here, making sure that the track will actually go through the middle. Arguably, of course, I should have done that before starting to build it. But it's worked out for the best anyway. Right, okay, get that bit in there. I have no idea what I'm going to do in the corner. Maybe a smoke effect. That fixes just about everything. Yes, or a sign that says this area of the ride is not decorated. Right, let's drag the whole thing downstairs. I'm sure this is going to be easy. Where do you want it? Nope. Yeah, just about. It's not bad actually. That's gone in pretty well. Okay, right. Delete this bit off so the track has got some way to get through. We'll make that look good, I'm sure. Yeah, something along, maybe up a bit, down a bit, side over there. Come on, pull it together. That's it. Yeah, up and round. Wall in this end because I'm certainly confident that I've got this right by now. The observant amongst you might be asking, where did the roller coaster just go? Well, I'll tell you, I deleted it. Didn't notice though, and I kept merrily working along to kind of get this working. I was quite happy with my progress, and of course with every step of movement I was making here, I was getting further away from the point at which undo could save my bacon, which is unfortunate. Because it will take me another minute or two to notice that the roller coaster has in fact been deleted. Yeah, in fact I end up doing something rather magnificent with pathing here. I know you wouldn't have thought it possible. I decided, running the path down the side of the wall, that would look rather splendid. We can certainly make that work. Of course, I reached this conclusion after trying to get it over the top of the ghost train track for about 10 minutes and figuring out that no, it doesn't really matter what you do, it's just not going to do it. Give it up now. No, you don't want to path that high, it looks stupid. No, it's rubbish. No, get rid of it. By the way, you deleted your roller coaster there, and you kind of want that. No, still not realised. No, still pressing on. Look, he's a man on a pathing mission. You can forget anything when you're working with pathing. Right, let's put another lamp in here. Smooth that out. Maybe this will. That's it. That's the one. There you go. Hey, right, connect it up over there, and good. Yep, all of this, bit of that. Try and link it up. I don't know why the entrance and exit disappeared there, but they did. We'll work through that. Now, don't worry too much about scenery being in the middle of the path. We'll figure that out later. And of course, I've decided at this point that if I'm going to build this path, I'm going to do it properly and not have any kinks and twists and dips and whatever else going on in there. And then I come topside and I go, "Where's the roller coaster?" All right, so time's passed, obviously, and I managed to reinstate everything that I'd built before, but it's not quite as good second time around. Managed to get the path in. That's a nice place to start. There's Q, and I get a little bit ahead of myself rather excitably, and decide that colouring in the terrain is the appropriate course of action at this point, despite the fact that I've still got quite a lot of work to do, and therefore I should probably leave that till last. But there's nothing like getting a sense of achievement that you get from colouring the terrain in with your big marker pens and your crayons. Right, now we're trying to change the shape of the ride here a little bit to get it working, because obviously we broke it, so we've got to put it back in again. Lots of fiddling about there, and flipping it, got top side again. Come on, get back under, and then roll it around the corner. Yeah. That's the stuff. Down and then around and straight line, and it will just connect up beautifully. Right, smashing. Let's put a couple of lumps in here to make it feel like it's an actual ride, rather than that you're just being pushed around in a shopping trolley, because that's not exciting. Let's dig out the bottom of this, and then try and get hold of this flipping lamp. That's it. Get that lamp out there. Colour it in. Yep, because that'll help. And then try and fill it full of water. And if that fails, fill it full of smoke. This is the old classic smoke technique to hide the fact that this area has no decorations in it, but enjoy the ambiance. Why don't you? Right, I decide at this point actually that lamp motif that I've been using to light what I'm doing is actually rather pleasing. So I keep that in place. Start sealing in some of the landscape a little bit to create a little bit more interest, because the landscape itself, if you can create your scenery out of that, well, it saves you quite a lot of frames per second there, because it doesn't use as much of your memory up as the scenery does. So it's kind of fake pretend scenery, but the end result's good. And of course, once you colour it in, everything starts to look absolutely splendid. Lots of big rocky stuff going on, and actually the bits that I've missed, I kind of go, you know what? I think they could be features. Some tactical placement of lamps with a bit more smoke. Yeah, now you're talking. And of course, where there's smoke, there is almost certainly going to be fire, which I will get to as soon as I finish colouring the thing in again. There you go, a bit more of that. Yeah, big explosion thing. We'll have it happen just in the cave to the side, so that while you're riding around there, you'll go, oh, I wonder what's causing that. Can I do anything with this lava stream? I've tried with the lava streams, I tell you, but they're quite a swine to get working. And there you go, a bit of a flamethrower. Give them just a jump there. Ha ha ha! Perfect. Splashy lava death pit. Marvelous. Yeah, this is what gets our health and safety rating going right the way through the sun, probably figuratively and literally. I almost deleted the Judgment 2 there, as I selected that lava fall. I also selected the Judgment 2. That did involve a minor moment there with the undo tool. Do I want Stegs doing his little dance down here? Now we'll stick to the standard park movie. I'll probably revisit this later with a movie to do the whole of Cthulhu's Underworld. I end up using the darker screen, which is a bad choice. I should have stuck with the brighter screen. I knew that at about when did I figure that out? Probably just after I'd finished putting all of this mesh over the top of it, because with the amount of fear and terror going on, people, are likely to throw things at the screen. So I decided to hide it behind some mesh would look good. And obviously after doing that, I went, well, now you can't even see it. There's a movie going on in there. So I'll be back to hit that one up at a later date. And then I noticed, of course, that the cars on the track actually stall as they come round. And you kind of go, oh, well, that's flaming unhelpful. That's all right. A bit of track wigglage will fix that right up. Here it comes again. Nope, still broken. Still broken there. And you kind of go, well, what's changed? It was working fine when I'd done it before, and everything was splendid, and we were all quite happy with it. Kiddies had plenty of opportunity to get nervous, but no, it's just not playing along. So eventually I'd come up with a radical conclusion. We go, we're riding on, and we get round. Yes, that time fixed it. Basically a bit longer on the old chain ramp there. A bit more shaping of the landscape, which will inevitably lead to a little bit more messing around with textures in a moment there. And I decided, oh, okay, you know what else would fit in here? Let's put in some scary coaster doors. Because everybody likes a swing open. Everybody likes a coaster door there, and we'll put some triggering on that. And you know what? Let's put a trigger on the explosion while we're at it. Let's have some more stuff that we can trigger. Yeah, let's trigger another terrifying flamethrower to put a wind up them. Because once you start triggering stuff, you just can't help yourself. You've just got to do it constantly. And we're pretty much there actually by this point. I'm now kind of rearranging the deck chairs a little bit, and we're banging a couple of rocks. I don't need any more fire effects than that. I'm not pleased with the outside of this corner. I think several health and safety posters of some description might be the way to go. But a bit of foliage. I've gone topside, and then of course if you go topside, you kind of go, well, we've managed to lump up the log flume there, so let's go fix that. Bit of terrain colouring in as you do. No, that's too much. See, you can spot the texture. You've done too much of it, despite the fact that I've still got plenty to do over there. Let's ride a roller coaster. Whee! Oh, that's much better. Yeah, that's definitely the one to go for. And then yeah, that's it. We'll shape it all up. I noticed riding the roller coaster that I'd actually clipped through some rock there as well. Yeah, this is all looking, yeah, that's just, the more you can do of this, the happier you're going to be with life. Colour the whole thing black, because otherwise people might think it's a bit cheerful. Try it with lots of cars, try it with fewer cars, and then let the punters have at it. And that's pretty dramatic. Now, there's still a little bit more work to do down here. I mean, we're not going to get to it all today, but what I need to do is, firstly, I've got a supplemental hat stand here that is not being fully advertised, so I need to get rid of that. Look at all these people. They're having the greatest time you could possibly imagine. I suspect what I've done here is I've entirely drained Steggs' side of the park as everybody comes over to where the good stuff is. So there we go, that's the ride all built. I'm not 100% happy with it yet, particularly the coaster doors. They need moving because they're clipping a little bit, but I've got the fundaments in place right there. Now, while you're away, what I'm going to try and do is finish up the decoration down here, and we'll start out with a tour next time round. If I get around to it, I'll even finish the decoration topside as well. I've had enough of doing these speed builds for a little while, and I think we need to step back and smell the flowers for a bit. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today. Chuck a like at this one if you've already bought your hat, and subscribe if the queue was full when you got there. I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching. Cheerio.